Hello everyone, welcome back to another video and welcome back to something slightly different. So we're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and as you can see we are taking a look at the fly-by-wire A380. I'm not sure if I think I have flown this before. I haven't made a video on it, but I have flown it a couple of times and it shares a lot of similar logic to the A350, which obviously we've flown a few times on the channel. So I thought this would be a fun one. It's something slightly different than we normally do, and we are going to recreate the flight from Glasgow down to Dresden in Germany. So this is the flight that this particular A380 made once they'd finished doing their, whatever you want to call it, charter flights, whatever situation you, however you feel about the whole global thing. But yeah, this was a flight from Glasgow down to Dresden. It's about an hour and a half flight time, something like that. So let's jump on board. As I say, I've only flown this very occasionally, so we'll see how we get on. So we will let's import the data in SimBrief. And then let's get some power to the aircraft. So battery, 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 and battery. So there's the route, Glasgow to Dresden, 390. That all looks fine. Get the external power on. Like so. Shame it doesn't do stairs when there's no bridge. Oh, it does. Ah. I stand corrected. Cool. So we will go 1, 2, and 3 on the IRS. Start that with the alignment. So fuel is 34 tons. So let's start the fuel. Has it done it already? I guess so. And let's... Obviously I know there wouldn't actually be passengers. I'm just going to change this. Actually... no, I'm not going to change it. Because it'll mess up the... it'll mess up the weight, so that's fine. We'll pretend that there is passengers. So IRS is coming on, so fueling is done. So the fuel pumps can come on. Like so. Everything else looks fine. Fire test is fine. So APU can come on. Emergency exit lights can come on. Logo auto. Cool. Good stuff. So So that's going on down there. So let's go down to this now. So A380, 800, 972s. So we'll go flight. No, we won't. We'll go init flight plan request. I wonder how similar this is actually going to be to the 350. So we'll insert that in there. APU bleed can come on. IRS is aligned. We are 2-3 and that one temporary insert, and then at Dresden we are looking at 2-2 ILS What doesn't it like about that? That's odd. Won't let me put the transition in. Which is odd. Get rid of these. Oh, it has put it in. Okay, that's fine. Cool. So that's that done. So $350.3. And $34 tons of fuel. And 34.2. That's fine. Can I not do wind? No. Oh, okay. Okay. So I've done the takeoff on SimBrief, and this is what it's come back with. So 64. flap 1. And we are looking 129. Uh, 142 and 150. The problem with that is it doesn't give me a... Where do I get this percentage from? I don't really know what to do with that. Hasn't calculated the trim. Let's see if I can figure it out. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens, because the SimBrief calculator hasn't given me a trim setting. Let's take that one off there. I don't know if that's right, but let's see. 42.7. Cool. I don't know if that's right, but let's see. Cool. So we are looking at initial 6,000. Fuel quantity set, seatbelt signs, auto, baro ref set. Checklist complete. So we will take the before start checklist. Parking brake is set. Parking brake is set. Takeoff speeds and thrust is set. 4-start checklist is complete down to the beacon. So APU is avail, so let's get cracking. So services, JetBridge. Let's see if this works with this pushback tool. Hope so. Let's find out. So I guess we want to be pushed like that, maybe. I'm not really sure about that, because I feel like the tail's going to go through that wall, but I guess we'll find out. And with that, beacon is on. Checklist complete. Let's see what happens with this pushback. No idea, they must have pushed it round. Not liking this pushback tool, that's for sure. That's not ideal, but it'll do. Start in 3. How do I set the TCAS? There we go, I remember. There we go. And start at number 4. Excuse me. And checklist. After start checklist, anti-ice is not required. Pitch trim is set. Checklist is complete. Taxi checklist. Flight controls. Flight controls are checked. Flaps, flaps 1. Radar is on. Auto brake. RTO. Takeoff config. Norm checklist is complete. So we are annoyingly taken off from the other end. wonder if the real one taxied all down here, or if it went... if it backtracked. Yeah, I'm going to say it backtracked. I'm not sure the A380 went down this tiny little taxiway. But that's the beauty of a sim, right? We're going to pretend that it did, because it definitely didn't. Just check out that overhang. That's insane. Right. Anyway, I think the real one must have backtracked, or whatever the word is. Must have gone along the runway and then turned round. Of course, I could be wrong. Maybe it did go this way, but it just seems a bit small. Right, nearly there. See, this is easier when it's not just you. Right, line-up checklist. Takeoff runways checked. See, this is what happens. Right, that's that checklist complete. Now there's going to be one hell of a turn. Right. Take off. Let's let the tiller reset. Manflex 64 SRS runway auto thrust is blue. Power set. 100 knots.
V1.
And rotate. And positive rate. Gear up. Now check. Thrust climb. Thrust climb, check. go. Flies really nicely actually, I'd forgotten how nice this is to fly. So we're accelerating nicely. Autopilot 1. So I'm going to wind this up all the way to a cruise, which I believe is 390, yeah. 390. Now we're going to pretend that we've got a direct to just to cut that out. Nice weather. So do we not get landing performance data either? It's a bit of a shame. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. There's no landing performance data either, so I'm guessing we'll have to use SimBrief for that. I believe there's no after takeoff checklist. Nope. So, that's that guys, not much to look at because of the weather and how dirty that window is. So, I'll leave it there and I'll come back to you when we are in the descent towards Dresden. See you in a little bit. Hi guys, so we're back. We're in the descent, just passing 26,000, flight level 260. We've only got about, this says about 15 minutes, but I find that very hard to believe as we're still at 25,000 feet. But who knows, maybe it'll be correct. So, don't believe there's a descent checklist. No, there isn't. So I've done, if I go performance, approach, so I've plumbed in all the numbers, so it's flat full landing, approach speed's 138, minimum's 800 on the Barrow, and we will get the Q&H once we transition. So it's going to be a low auto brake, max reverse landing. I've done a BTV for I've done a BTV for Bravo. We'll see if we make it or if we have to go right to the end. And yeah, everything's looking good. Nothing massive to report. See what the weather's like when we get under this cloud. Let's see, let's go back to flight plan there. Seems like a very steep approach, so we're flight level to 17,500 and then 7,000 feet in 17 miles. It does seem awfully steep. Maybe it's not. Maybe the A380 is more than capable. Get a few snaps. The A380 in the weather. So there's just passing 18,000. Cool. Well, everything seems to be going alright. As always guys, if you like this kind of stuff, please do smash that thumbs up button, smash the like button, subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. 2 away from 500, so it'd be really neat to get to 500 subscribers. As always, let me know down below any comments, requests, that sort of thing. Do let me know. And also let me know what you think. Have you flown the fly-by-wire A380? What do you think of it? I haven't flown their products for a while actually, because I tend to fly the Phoenix for the A320. So it's been a while. Yeah, the fly-by-wire A320 always reminds me of Msfs 2020 when that first came out, when it was still an enhancement to the default, long before the separate model days. So I'll get some charts on here so you guys can see, although I seem to have broken the fly pad. Not sure what I've done there. I've managed to break the tablet. There we go. Well, I somehow seem to have broken this. That's annoying. Anyway. Yeah, this is the bit I'm not convinced about, because this all seems... It all seems very quick. Right, that's 10,000 anyway, so... The lights can come on. Like, I'm not convinced it's going to do that. We're going to find out. Yeah, that's odd. Let's see if I can fix this. No, I've broken it. Anyway, I was going to show you the charts, but I can't because it's broken. So 8,000. Very impressive if this pans out. I'm going to be very impressed. Looks like it might do it, you know. You know what? It might just do it. And flaps 2.
$2,500.
Let's see what happens. What a speedy approach though. And glide slope captured. Gear down. Flaps 3. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Barrow ref set. Seatbelts on. Minimum set. Auto brake. PTV. Landing checklist complete. Some wind. Manual flight, check. $400. $100 above. Minimum. Continue.
50, 40, 30, 20, Retard. 5.
And reverse is green.
Auto brake off.
Welcome to Dresden. That's really helpful. And the simulator is lagged. What is going on? Now, I've got no idea where an A380 would park, so I'm just going to make it up. That massive stuttering was really unhelpful just as we landed. That was fun. We'll go to this gate here. This definitely isn't where it parked, but it'll do. There we go. I think that'll do. Parking brake set. APU bleed is on. Hey, it started working again now. Maybe they don't work when you're in the air. Let's see. Is this going to work? And there we go. That's all that done. Get some ground power. And let's checklist. That auto completed, I'm pretty sure. Parking brake or chocks, check. Wing lights, off. Fuel pumps. Off. Checklist complete. Can I set chocks? No. I thought I could do chocks, but no, doesn't look like I can. Right. Well, there we go. First flight in the A380. I think that was a success. Hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. If you have, again, please do smash that thumbs up button. It really does mean a lot. Please do subscribe. I'd love to get to 500 subscribers. Hit the bell so you don't miss any future videos. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.